All right. Back here. We're going to call this one part 2 of the Urban Hippie podcast here with the infamous Corey S. Gladwell. With part two. With the cool glasses.
Part two.
Whiskey Poppy, as
trying
always.
To keep up with Poppy, you know?
Right? So what are we going to do about this conspiracy theory thing, man? I think let's just preface this with, we're just shooting the shit. I think everybody's entitled to their own belief. And
context, everything we say is true.
I looked it up on the internet.
Yes, Google told me it's a fact, so fuck your facts.
The weirder it is, the more likely it's the truth.
Hey, there you go.
But, no, I think conspiracy theories are fascinating, and I think just because I'm big into psychology and stuff, and I really like Jordan Peterson, what he's been doing, and I've been learning a lot from him lately, and him and Gary Vee. But it's crazy the way the human mind works, man. Mm-hmm. And I think cognitive dissonance is a real thing. What's like the Duncan Kruger effect or something? I don't know what he's like. You think you're smarter than you really are.
Story of my life, bro. Story of my life.
Right? But no,
it got me to where I am.
But I don't know, man. Where should we start this, man? Conspiracy theories. There's just so fucking many of them, man. Where should we start this? I should have something in mind.
What's the first conspiracy theory?
I got the easiest one
that you heard.
Did we land people on the moon or not? Did we go to the moon?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
I think we went. Here's the thing. I think we went and we found more than we were supposed to. That's my conspiracy theory on it. I think we went and we found more just when we went into space than they really want to tell us, or they maybe try to tell us. We just cognitive dissonance can't even fucking accept it. And I'll say one deep thing. I try to go super deep on everything, but the one analogy I give everyone when it comes to reality, conspiracy theories or not, when the conquistadors first came from Spain and shit, went to like Mexico and Central America. If you read any of the stories about it, a lot of the locals and natives and shit, when they first saw them, they didn't see them come off of ships. They saw them all of a sudden start walking in water at them because their minds at the time had no concept, no idea of what that kind of ship was. Therefore, their mind had no image of a ship. So they literally could not even see it. That's cognitive dissonance, to an outward degree, not even inward. They literally couldn't even see the fucking ship. So if you can't even see the ship, all of a sudden they see men just walking. They're like, what the fuck? Because they never had known what that concept of a ship was. So how much of that is happening with the moon shit, with aliens, whatever else, right around us, right here, other dimensional, whatever shit, because we can't even language-wise understand how to even say it. And shit's just right here. And we're like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? So...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean,
go hard.
I don't think we went to the moon.
You don't think so?
That's hard.
Personally, no. I mean, the videos are, obviously fake. I mean, if it's like, I always tell people, it's like you go to court, right? If you're in trial, and then they say, hey, NASA, show us the telemetry data, show us the raw footage, because telemetry data is the only way you can actually prove something. That's the distance between two communications, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's literally the only way you can prove it factually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have any of it. They destroyed it.
I mean, that wouldn't be the first time they've lied about history. There's 1,000 things in almost every book and every freaking culture, country in the world that is just bullshitted about. Yeah. So, I don't even think they had enough. My thing is, the only reason I think they may have went isn't because the videos are true. I don't think they had enough. I think it doesn't really make sense, but I think they had better technology to go travel different places in the universe or wherever else versus actual camera equipment to fake anything. I think their camera equipment was so bougie. They couldn't even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I don't know who the president was, but he was talking to him on a landline.
See?
In 1969. I can't get service when I go over the mountains.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's real.
Right.
Come on, bro.
That is real.
And you look at...
And there was no lag. It was real time.
And the wind. I heard about the wind.
They played it on live
There's no
TV,
wind or
bro.
whatever on the moon, so there shouldn't have been like the flag. I heard about that.
I think the moon's right.
Oh, yeah.
Prove,
yeah.
I
mean, you look at
it's the only thing in history that we've digressed technologically.
See, that's why I think something happened, though. I think we figured out how to go into space, do some shit. Not necessarily go to the moon. I don't think maybe we didn't go to the moon. I think we figured out how to do some space shit, and we went, and then we were like, oh, this is like the fucking in the Matrix, or there's aliens out there, or there was some other shit, or whatever, and we were just like, oh, we got to fake and tell people we spent $20 billion in some taxpayer money and didn't do shit.
You know what?
Like, there's a moon.
I wish I believed that. I used to believe that, right? I wish I believed that, though.
What do you think now?
You know what I think.
I know, but I mean, he said, "Why you got to ask me these questions?" You know.
I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out of the closet. I might. Fuck it. Should I come out? I've said it on every episode. I'm not coming out of the closet yet.
I mean, hey,
You know, I was hoping to have my buddy Jason Newell on here to fucking to really have fun with
him. Give him a sample. Give him a sample of it.
I mean,
just a smudge,
just a little taste of what it is.
Jeez. Okay, here's what I'll say. I do not believe standing bodies of water can curve and bend and stick to a ball.
Boom.
Especially one that's spinning 1,000 miles an hour on its axis. Flying 66,000 miles. Let's repeat that number: 66,000 miles around the fucking sun, and then that sun's shooting like 1 million or like 600 something, and then something else. The whole galaxy's shooting like another 1 million, and yet I can fucking go balance some rocks at any beach right now that make no sense, and we're spinning all those. We're spinning, wobbling, and flying.
That's right.
Through fucking infinite space.
Yep.
I guess I just don't necessarily believe that.
We're on a crash course, baby.
And I mean, look at the horizon. Horizontal. It's called sea level.
Shout outs to B.O.B.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Y'all put the clues together. Right?
Yeah. It's called an airplane.
That's right.
What do we live on? A plane with a T on the end. It's I believe in a geocentric world. I believe in what the Bible says. I believe the world is geocentric. I believe the sun and the moon rotate around us, as do the stars. The same reason the North Star is the North Star, and it has been every night since the history of history. Yet we're flying millions and millions of miles at a second. And it's like, first of all, the heliocentric model, you really get into it, break it down. You know, if this is the sun and this is Earth, right? Well, I'm about to get scientific on y'all.
Oh, look at you. Catch the video. Y'all listen to audio. Find this video. He's doing experiments in this bitch.
So
he's using a gourd.
One blunt deep. He's got a coconut in his hand with Tupac on it. Let's get it.
Shout out art class.
There you go. Shout out
art class.
Mrs. whoever was the teacher at the time.
Yeah.
Look it down.
Fucking.
Who's your art class teacher?
You know what? And I'm bougie, so I gotta make sure these cameras are still on before we get into this. But what about 9/11? That's another easy one.
Ooh, there you go. So you go first. Come on, Poppy. Drop it.
9/11. I've heard so many, but you know what? Do I like if I think it was an inside job or if it was like?
I mean, do you think what they said happened is what happened, or you think there's maybe a twist on it? You know, or?
I don't believe that jet fuel can burn metal.
Yeah,
at that high degree, because they showed some things where like what degree metal burns at was
burn.
Not
you mean melt?
Melt. That's what I mean. Yeah. Melt. And it was debunked every single attempt. So with that, like, I don't. What about you? What do you think?
I wish I don't wish it was true. Obviously, I don't wish it was not true either. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a win in either of it being faked by the government or Osama been hiding for a while. But there's too much evidence to show that it wasn't what happened wasn't possible the way they said it happened. Yeah. And I think either is complete government cover up type thing, which it definitely could have been, and I think that would make sense for most leading governments or rulers are kind of shit. That's some shit they do. It makes perfect. There's too much money that was made afterwards by people that were in power that have war crimes against them all over the world that can't leave. So, I mean, I don't really see how it could have been, but I think at least at the very least, the government, I think I look at as a growing, it's done so much. I think there's a lot of positive, obviously, too. Shout out to the government. But I think there's also, it is kind of like an immature kid still trying to grow up. So I think at the very least, even if it was wrong in its first explanation of shit, I think it was too much of a bitch to admit it was wrong and just adjust. And if you look at, and this isn't for my opinion, because honestly, I'm sure it affected me in some way or another, but it didn't affect me to the degree that it affected a lot of people, especially those in New York, and other families, whatever else. But if you look at the 9/11 families and all this that they've brought to the government over the years and years, it's really sad how they treated everyone. And that, I think, if nothing else, step up and at least explain and show some proof and some stuff with them and make them satisfied. Because I've seen too much of them being, kind of like, whatever. The story's kind of fuck. I mean, even if you look at Colin Powell, you know what I mean? Like when he stepped down and was just like, what the fuck? You had me straight up lie to everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was one reason I look at voting today too. Like who voted for that shit? You know what I mean? Even like the wars, different things back then. Cause I'm like, if you couldn't have seen it then, you know what I mean? Then you're not going to, you'll vote whatever party line you want to now. And give a shit now and change your mind. So anyways, getting deep on some shit.
It is.
Yeah, that shows a controlled demolition.
Yeah. I mean, there's.
I don't know.
It was a perfect fall. I mean, that was.
It would look like it was out of the movies.
That was a perfect fall.
It was perfect.
Yeah, I watched that shit. My mom was screaming in the morning, came running and yelling at me. Kids nowadays, like, it's a history class.
Yeah.
That shit was. I was a freshman in high school.
I don't even think you can really call it a conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was a freshman in high school too.
Yeah,
I was freshman.
Who, what, or why? What the real purpose was? Who knows? But that was a controlled demolition.
Yeah.
I mean, no footage from the Pentagon. No the airplane that crashed in like Pennsylvania or whatever it is, just fucking basically evaporated because there was no plane parts. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's funny, and it's just funny to me how the human mind can just ignore like what's fact. Like, jet fuel does not melt steel.
Yeah. There's some scientific term I don't know, but some factual biases. Like we just literally...
It's happened 3 times and happened on the same day in history. It's happened 3 times. You can't duplicate it. Well, 3 buildings fell, right?
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
That's true.
The plane didn't even hit one of them.
Yeah.
Somebody got their ass whooped.
Shit.
Oh, that's where you guys... And they literally just reported that they lost $2.3 trillion that went unaccounted for the day before.
Mm-hmm.
The dude Silverstein or whatever, like, what he took out, he just I don't know what it was.
Oh, he took insurance out on. He took terrorism insurance,
like right before.
Wow. Terrorist insurance.
Like none of the big families, none of the higher up families or people showed up to work that day. Like, I mean, it's
people
just
got notified. Yeah,
like it's not a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Who, what, or why? Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. But a lot of shit that points to a lot of shit. But there's like people talk about coincidence, even like spirituality or whatever, universal, whatever fucking magic shit. But if you look at a certain number scientifically, a certain number of things happening in a certain way, it goes beyond a point of coincidence to a mathematical statistic. And that's kind of one of those things. There's so many different things of evidence of that, and a lot of other shit that are conspiracy theories that like I don't go around posting and sharing all the time, but it's like if something happens enough times, it's no longer, that's a crazy coincidence. Oh, that's a synchronicity. I'm like, no, that's someone fucking with shit. Like that's some intentional bullshit happening that you're not wanting to see. Yeah.
Behind everything is money. Somebody's making some money off of it.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of money. Yeah. Follow the money.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, follow the money. Let's follow the ball.
Oh yeah. Back to the
gourd.
So I think if somebody is going to talk to me about
B.O.B. theory.
That's Bobby Ray.
Well, let me just help you guys. So the heliocentric model, you guys understand the difference between the heliocentric model and the geocentric model?
Teach.
So the heliocentric model is basically that the sun, we go around the sun, right? All the planets go around the sun. The geocentric model, which every religion and culture in the history of history until America went to the moon, is the geocentric model, which is the sun, moon, and stars go around us, right? And we're the center of the universe.
Galileo.
We're important, right? But
very important.
Yeah. So that's the very, very basic difference. So if you understand the heliocentric model, see, this is God telling me to shut up.
This God's like, quit giving him the truth. You're not ready for the truth.
He's trying to censor you.
God, aka Amtrak. What's up?
This is keeping me off the government radar right now. But no. So the basic difference in the heliocentric model, for you to understand the heliocentric model, right? You have two sides of the ball, right? Two sides of Earth. So and the Earth does one perfect rotation every day, right? That's why it's 24 hours. It does a rotation. So in July and during the summer, right? You're facing that way, right? Like you're on this side of the ball, looking this way, on this face, right? 6 months later, on the opposite time of the year, you're still doing a circle every day. So you're still facing this way too, right? You're always facing that camera at the end of this day, right? It just depends where you are around the sun.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be seeing 2 completely different sets of stars. Because at one point you're looking that way, and at the other point you're looking that way. Right? I mean, that's just common sense. We can't have the same stars if we're going around the sun.
It's actually a good point, bro.
It's just like that's the easy. It's just breaking down the model. I mean, that's what the model is. I'm not saying anything else. All I'm saying is the sun, moon, and the stars go around us.
I'm not saying I invented hip hop, but I was there.
You know what I mean? Like, the shit doesn't change for a reason. You don't feel that we're moving for a reason.
Well, so on that note, time.
See, that's one I love to get into.
Time. I mean, like it's not a conspiracy theory, but I mean,
what is time?
So time is to me and Einstein. I'll drop a big name so I get some credit.
Fuck Einstein. Call it Tesla, baby.
The Tesla as well. There you go.
If we lived in a Tesla world, that shit would be crazy. We'd be living in the Jetsons world.
But see, and I think that's where it gets back to Disney's Tomorrowland. That shit probably does exist right next to us. And Tesla always says you want to understand the universe, look at energy, vibration, and frequency, right? That's what Tesla always said. And that's what the whole Tomorrowland shit was about. That's why they use Tesla and everything in the movie and all that shit. And there is a Club 33 Disney, Mickey fucking, you know what I mean?
Don't get me started.
Mastermind, and you can pay $25,000 a year to get that restaurant.
You're right.
You know what I mean? That's some real shit. Club 33. Shout out to Masons, you know what I'm saying? Shout out. We throw up the threes, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
it's the only
Hey, shout out to Grandpa G, you know what I'm saying? Oh, clip. Hey.
So when did you sign up with the Illuminati?
It was a long weekend, bro, but I was in need.
Is that Disneyland?
Yeah, exactly.
That's terrible.
me and B-Rad did the shit when he came. We and B-Rad get the photos like this with the diamond and shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Illuminati. But shout out to Jay and Bay.
I have a price.
Yeah, I have a price.
We all do.
But so time, and Einstein said that time is he said reality is an illusion, albeit a very persistent one, right? So, and that's
I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that I think that covers almost all of what we either believe or don't believe from everyone, right? But time, he says, in a science form, he says, is the fourth dimension, only because time is what actually creates, our concept of us thinking there's time is what creates the three dimensions of space. And so it's wrapped around kind of three dimensions of space is the fourth dimension of time, because without time, there really is no space, because there's no here or there without the distance between it and the time it takes to get there, right? So I get it in that concept, but if you look at everything, time is really just a man-made concept. I mean, even like we can go to the Mayan calendar thing and all that kind of shit, 2012, and the world's going to end, a rapture, all this different shit. Even that calendar was off. People thought it was going to be this certain time, but if you go over a certain amount of time, it's like that actually would have been August or September 2012, not the beginning, whatever else. So, time I've experienced personally, slowing down and speeding up, and a lot of people have. I mean, you go think of those moments in sports or whatever else, car wrecks or anything. Time kind of slows down to a halt or whatever, and we're able to kind of move beyond it, and or speeds up, and you go, damn, where'd that go? I felt like that was a few minutes, but it was the whole day, or whatever it was. So if it's malleable in our experience of it, and this is the thing, and someone will say, well, that's your experience. Well, what else does anyone have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Someone's going to, oh, that's your experience. Well, what are you going to prove me with differently? Your experience is the same shit. You know what I mean? Like, we have our collective experience, our individual experience. So we create what we say is real and true or not true, right? So if I and other people, a ton of us can experience time slowing down, speeding up, having premonitions of shit, whether we're dreaming about it or just like a random thought about something and, oh shit, that just happened, or the black cat thing, or deja vu, or all this shit. Is time ever existing, or are we just in some crazy, Ouroboros fucking hell loop until we fucking realize that we're stuck in it? Then we can go out and fucking do some fun with it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no, it's I love conspiracy theories, man. I love how they get people so riled up.
They do.
Like, if you start challenging somebody's core beliefs, watch out.
Yeah,
watch out.
People start thinking that's who they are, though. You know what I mean? Like. We look at if you look at from politics to religion to society to a lot of things, and I'm not exempt to this either. You know what I mean? To a lot of degree, maybe not with those subjects, but with a lot of subjects, we start to attach into our beliefs. That's why the Way Home book and the Way program is all about questioning more than ever. Is because it's like when we start attaching to those beliefs as who we are. That's where you have from race wars to religious wars to mass murders to genocide to shit. Over a belief that there is an other or a difference or a better or worse, or this way of life is the only way of things. And it's like, you're willing to kill over a belief? You're willing to sacrifice yourself over a belief? Like, of a thought. Yeah. You thought a thought so long that you felt like it was real, and then you're going to go end your life for it. That's what that is. You really break it down. That's wild. That's why I love having those conversations and being like, listen, we can all believe whatever we want, but let's have fun with it. Let's enjoy this shit. You know what I mean? And let's debate it and whatever. But people go out and kill and die for it. And there's levels to this shit, sometimes. But even sports, you look at soccer or football, everywhere else, goalies getting murdered and shit. You played sports right all over. You know what I mean? Like, people kill over that shit, over sports.
Refs get killed.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Refs get killed overseas.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do?
Nothing. Get a new player
go against the cartel?
That's it. But that's over some attachment to the sports and a lot of gambling, but still attachment to the money. But
and
but
you're just not mentally
money and religion are behind everything.
That's it.
I mean,
what's behind both those? Power.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the whole thing is that we realize. So I know this is a conspiracy theory moment, but I'm gonna have to go on it. When you realize you are the currency, you are the value. Like
100%.
Exactly. When people don't realize, like a home, for example, I did real estate. When there's a home loan for $500,000, there's a home worth $500,000. Neither one are worth shit until you, as the human, sign the contract. Shout out to Kevin for explaining that easiest way for me.
Social Security number.
That's it. That's a bank statement. So that's your corporation, your EIN number as you an individual corporation.
I've heard you can go take money out on that shit.
I've heard people have, and then they get locked up by the feds. Someone showed me how to do it, and I was like, no,
I'm not touching that.
I'm gonna keep that in there.
I'll pay my taxes and keep them out.
Exactly.
Keep them out of my fucking yard.
I'll pay probably more fees than I need to cut those checks, so I don't have to worry about it. But
I'm paying that one off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's the thing. If you have, you create the value. You sign that contract for that loan for the house to buy the house. The loan and the house have no value. You create the value by actualizing the contract as a human being. It's your signature. Even with data, our cell phones, Verizon, T-Mobile, they make $1,500, $2,000 a month off us just talking and texting and doing shit. And we pay them a bill, which is another company we have coming out that you don't have to do that anymore. But we pay them a bill to be able to have them make money off the shit. This is books. You can look this shit up. You can find out these things. This isn't like some conspiracy thing, but it's still, my point is this goes back to conspiracy theory because the whole point of the money and religion, all these things that they tell us are bullshit or have everyone else battle over is because they control the money and the power or the money and religion. This is what's right and wrong. This is if you're a good or bad person. And this is how you can exercise who you are or what you want to do or what you can't do if you're a good or bad person. And beyond that is the power. And if they control that, keep us fighting and confused, we never look at them and go, oh, wait, you can't do shit without us because your shit means nothing without us, right? So that's, had to go off on
tangent. No, I
like it. That's what that's for.
Yeah, no, and that's why I like, kind of keeping this thing raw and unfiltered, not really having, no scripts or topic points, because I mean, shit. The human experience can go 10 different ways within 10 minutes. And if you're a dive bar, if you're a dive bar traveling alone, solo type guy that I was for a long time, going overseas and shit. I met some of the coolest fucking people. Right. Typically older. Usually the older they were, the cooler they were. And I met some fucking dope people in little hole in the wall. I'm a dive bar connoisseur, man. Little hole in the wall type places, community type places. Like you meet some interesting fucking people, man. And like I said, stories and like I said, when you really get off your fucking phone, you go out there and you start interacting with the world and start talking to your neighbors and go out and meeting new people, you realize this world ain't that bad.
Yeah, it ain't. No,
it's really not.
It's worth it.
Not everybody's some crazy fucking redneck racist or some lunatic, lunatic liberal.
That's it.
And the politics is fucking hilarious to me. I mean, all the conspiracy theories. Let's talk about the Simpsons. Have the Simpsons ever been wrong?
I haven't seen yet. No, I mean they've been exact.
I guess we'll find out because they killed Donald Trump in fucking Simpsons. So when he's president, he gets assassinated.
Yeah. Shout out Matt.
Predicted 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, everything. Oh, all that shit, bro. Yeah.
It's just so real.
Predictive programming.
There was a funny ass show that came out for like one season. My dad loved watching on Netflix or some shit, but it had this this alien invasion that came, and it was these little mini aliens. And I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but they basically got in politicians' ears and they started controlling everything, just doing outlandish wild shit. And then that was before even the Trump election or anything. And as soon as I started seeing the Trump running for office, I was like, is this that show you're watching or is this like real life? I was like, I couldn't tell because it was just like, I'm like, you're overtly being wild. Like, I don't even care about political stance is a different thing. Policy is a different thing. You are being wild, bro. Like, you just out here, you know what I mean? Just saying some shit. This is a TV show. But I appreciate this shit though, because it's like, you look at all that, the whole system, the whole theatrical play of politics, the bullshit mirage it is. And it's like, you look at, I actually appreciate how much more wild it's gotten because I was like,
I do too, man. That's what I was telling Dustin the other day.
I'm like,
over here.
But how many people can look at it and go, okay, there's no way a lot of this shit is real. Like, it made a lot of people go, wait, what the fuck is going on? This can't be real. And now they start questioning reality a little bit, which is the ultimate goal. Question some shit. There's a lot more we can do with this world than vote and go to work and buy some shit. There's a whole lot more we can do.
Hey, man, the president,
that's real.
The president is telling you that the news is fake. This is a beautiful time to be alive, whether you like him or not. This is a beautiful fucking time to be alive. And I always say, man,
on Twitter too, from the White House. Tweeting from his phone on social media, talking about fake news.
At like 3:46 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Just pop this Ambien though, but this NBC shit is whack. She got some nice titties though, but I hate this bullshit. Like, that's our president right now. Like, are you for real?
He follows like some of those like college humor sites too and shit. You know, like you know Donald's in there just taking a shit, just fucking just laughing,
presidential tweeters,
checking it out, just laughing his ass off at the most basic shit that me and you were laughing at when we were sitting on the fucking
just
shit.
Meme after meme of some shit.
Watching a college girl like shotgun a beer.
Yeah, exactly. She was the greatest student I ever met, the most amazing student, the smartest student. She could shotgun a beer like no one else could ever shotgun a fucking beer.
It was beautiful.
It was hugely beautiful. I mean, I'm telling you, there's no other woman in the world that could do that like she did. But I forgot her name.
Big ocean water.
There you go.
I was just about to say.
That's still my favorite 3 words in history now. Big ocean water.
Yeah. Big ocean water.
Big ocean water.
I love it.
I wish I could do impersonation.
Have you seen the picture of him when he was pretending to drive a fire truck? Look at me, Mom.
I love how the Republicans went from Mitt Romney, like the Dirk computer program corporations are people too, my friend. Like no one could relate to him at all. Like not even billionaires. I know billionaires, and even billionaires were like, "No, he's weird, bro." Like
he's
weird. You know what I mean? Like there was no amount of anything that could connect with. Like you're not normal. You're not human. You're something. You're just detached from reality. They went from him to like the most common, basic drunk uncle at a bar that you had to drive home kind of attitude guy. You know what I mean? He was still a billionaire, but just like I don't give a fuck. I like your boobs, and you know what I mean. Like everyone sucks. News is fake. Bye. Like, are you serious? Motherfucker called Pocahontas to one of the senators. Like, don't worry.
God.
Like with the natives that were like I'm native too, and we're about to be extinct in America. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he did say that. I remember
literally
that.
with like one of the chief guys on live news, like, don't worry, we have Pocahontas in the Senate talking about fucking what's her name, who's running for president now too.
Yeah,
Pelosi. Not Pelosi.
Not Pelosi. I know you're
Warren.
talking about
Warren. Yeah.
The less than 1%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, in that case, I'm Spanish. In that case, I'm Spanish, Portuguese, and African American as well. If she's native,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure I have 2 to 3% of each one of those in my DNA. So I was like, really though? But live with the like the chief there thing, I was like, you are out here, bro.
Yep. Savage.
Yeah. I was like, wow, you made me feel good about everything I did. Up. You know what I mean? Like,
I walk away like my life.
Donald Trump is the president of the free world.
Yes.
The free world.
Yes. Exactly.
Crazy. Yeah. Beautiful though.
Our president
I fucking
pretended to drive a fire truck.
Yeah. I think he's pretended to do a lot of things.
Pretended to be a president.
That's right.
Like being president.
Exactly. There's a conspiracy theory we're talking about. Yeah.
You know, he woke up one day and was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, he didn't think he was going to win. You know, he didn't think he was going to win.
His lawyer came out and said that before he was just president. He was like, "Yo, he didn't even want to become president."
No, he was just trying to be wild out there. Yeah, and he, like that transition team and shit. His lawyer did. He was like, "This, we were not prepared. We weren't prepared." Like, what do you mean you ran for president? But no one thought he didn't think he was going to win.
He's like, "Fuck."
I think it should be a wake up call to everybody that 51% of this country voted that man in office, and I didn't start out supporting him, and I don't support any president, but he's definitely my top 3 right now.
He's on that rotation right now
because that man is keeping it a buck. And at the end of the day, the thing I always say about Trump is he brought out all he made it cool to be racist again. And he made it cool to be extreme and ignore logic again.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum you are, whether you're a donkey or an elephant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he's saying "fuck you" to all of them,
everybody,
and I love it.
Yep,
everybody.
And for that fucking reason, and let's not forget, Donald Trump is in is the most referenced business person of any fucking. He
made a brand. Yeah.
In rap music though.
That's
in hip hop.
Yeah, my Trump card.
Donald Trump was a G until everybody came on the news and started telling you he was racist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's the one thing. So I don't policy, everything aside, but just on the point of what you're talking about, Donald Trump. He says the most outlandish wild shit and does not give a fuck about trying to backtrack it at all. And anyone who can see it is like, what the fuck? But if the Democrats want to, like, instead of complaining about it, and I'm all for that. Like, I helped Obama's campaign when he was first running everything too. But if you want to actually like do something about it, then stop the political bullshit that's killing everybody. The party and a lot of people are political correctness bullshit. That's like, you can't say, can't do, can't whatever.
Yep.
Just don't even get out of your house. Don't even leave your room. You can't do anything because if you do, someone will be offended.
For sure.
And so it's like, so we don't have to be rude and obnoxious and like over the top as him, but like take those balls and just do it and just say some shit and just be who you want. You know what I mean? Like be themselves, talk about it, like real actual things, real whatever, stand up and make a difference with it. You know what I mean? And if he's getting the noise and attention, then find a way to get the noise and attention. You don't have to be saying the same things, but do it. You know what I mean? Like just get out there and So
that's what I'm scared of now is like anybody can say anything about somebody and without any investigation into it, you're the bad guy. It's you.
Anonymous source.
Yeah,
exactly. You're fucked up.
Even
we heard this.
The fact check shit we found out was they were lying about. A lot of the I'm saying this all.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say
I think
fact
that's right.
check.
What are you talking about, Corey?
I'm saying fact check.
Say
There's
that
a lot of
fast.
sites that you could do that. Yeah, right. Saying some wild shit. You can't. A lot of those were corrupt as well. We found out. So it's like, you can pretty much anyone can say anything about anyone, and like even quotes. Memes. I share some on Instagram all the time.
The world is a stage,
and that's it. It's all. It's all it.
It is one.
Remember the worst thing a few
stage.
years ago was like posting a stat or something else on somebody's like Wikipedia page. Now it's like you can.
Everyone can edit whatever they want.
Everybody can edit
thing. Sarah Palin went and edited her whole thing. I flew across Alaska on the top of an eagle and met Putin for the first time. It was glorious.
It was great.
That did not happen.
Collusion.
Yeah, collusion.
Yeah, the Clinton Foundation got like what was it, like $400 million from Russia, like 3 years before
but that's what I'm saying. Everybody's been doing this shit forever. Like,
the foundations where they get all their money.
Like my dad hates Trump and he bitches about him all day long. And I'm like, bro, I get it. I'm with you. I understand you're upset. But every president's been doing shit like this. And he was like, no, they haven't. And I'm like, they have never arrested a president. They never even really fired a president, and they never fucking will. Everybody's been doing wild shit on the left and right side forever. He's just making it like known. He's just publicly like, this is what we've been doing, bro.
Bro, you go look at the net worth of some of these politicians.
Oh my god!
Before and after they came into offices,
everybody.
Donald Trump's the only one where his net worth, he's like the only president in the last I don't know how many years, but his net worth has gone down since becoming president.
Yeah.
Think about
look at everyone. Yeah,
you think about that.
Yeah, think about it. Thinking.
Think what I'm thinking.
I was gonna say something on the Clintons. I was like, no, I don't want to be on their hit list. Nope.
They got shooters.
I've never done one of the
Hillary.
I've never done one of the apps like Tinder, but I don't know which way it says no. But I'm swiping that way.
Swiping that shit. Big Willie.
Swipe left or something.
Call him William.
Which way is it? It was accept, swipe right or left to accept.
I don't remember.
I don't. I've actually never.
You guys aren't on there.
I've actually never done it. I don't have text. I don't have text.
I had Bumble for a while.
Okay,
and then I stopped it before I even got in a relationship.
Those are the who wants to fuck apps.
And so Bumble was the one that like the girls approach you first, which I was like, that's more my style because I don't really like saying shit to anybody.
Yep.
And so, but I remember there was like one instance where someone swiped, and then it was like, cool, where are you? And I was like with my boy Whit in LA, where I was like, I'm just downtown kicking it. And like all of a sudden there was like a huge argument she was having with herself, but thinking it was me about what we were supposed to do and hang out. And I was like, this is why I don't use this shit. And I was like, delete this shit right away. I was like, nope, I'll meet humans in real life.
That's my thing, man. I feel so bad for guys who struggle talking to. Actually, I feel bad for women too that lack the confidence to be able to go up and like talk.
Women know this. Say whatever you want to any man, and eventually it's going to hit. I'll tell you right now.
I think the sexiest thing that can happen is if a woman basically hits on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, because of the confidence.
Yep.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Is. That's it.
You know, and they're single. If they're hitting on you, at least you got to hope. I guess.
Yeah. You hope.
Yeah.
You know, but
I don't have a text game. I can't like get on there and like, hey, what's up, girl?
Oh, I got text.
I like to.
I'm the writer, bro. I'll be authoring and shit. I'll be writing whole books and shit.
I'm gonna get some.
I got my thumbs in my hands, fucking insured.
I got $1 million on each thumb, just in case you never know.
Hey, that's just real.
I'm gonna get some pointers from you later.
It's like,
for sure.
It's like Serena Williams' fucking legs are insured and shit. Swear to God,
it's true.
J-Lo's insured her ass.
Yep.
Yeah. J-Lo literally got $1 million ass.
Shout out J-Lo. Please come on the podcast.
Shout out Ben. I'm sorry.
Dope actress. There's some shit that I just can't say that I wish I could say.
Just say it.
No, you get yelled at no matter what.
I don't disrespect mothers. And I like J-Lo. I like J-Lo a lot.
Okay, that's a line.
I do like J-Lo a lot. She's a dope actress, and she's fucking talented, bro.
She is, yeah.
Music and fucking acting, and she excels.
Oh yeah.
Last night I watched this from a long ass time ago, but I used to watch it when I was younger. The Cell. It's a dope ass movie. She's a great actress too. Yeah.
You guys know what Adrenochrome is? I don't know why I just fucking made that.
To kind of cut a light.
Adrenochrome, I think is what it's. I don't know. I might be butchering it, but it's
Wikipedia for us.
So adrenochrome is like, if you go down the conspiracy route again. I mean, it's not conspiracy. This is actually fact. What it is, but it's like adrenochrome is produced and when you're in a state of fear or distress. And so the thing is, if like you torture somebody before you kill them, and then you harvest their blood, seriously, it's called adrenochrome, and it's what they say like the Hollywood people do, like it's because there's a whole market
in LA,
for it.
Bro. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, bro.
I ain't seen it, but I can see it.
It's like the closest thing to an anti-aging formula, basically. Or so I'm no scientist, but I mean,
even know. They call it something.
Now whether you believe this is happening, and to the extent it is, I don't know. Use your imagination.
So.
But that to me was one of the crazy. I think that was the first time that I just like, when I went down that rabbit hole, I came out of it just like, because what it did, the thing is, it's usually kids and shit, and that's something I don't really like talking about, because that's a rabbit hole I'm never going down publicly. Because somebody's getting punched in the face.
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
1,000%. But yeah, that was.
Even I moved to Hawaii, like peaceful ass Hawaii, and someone brought up some things with kids or whatever else, and I was like, "Where? I'll kill them." Like right now, midday. I don't.
Bro, I wish.
I don't even care. I'll publicly live stream some shit if I.
For sure.
Like that. Like I could give two fucks. Like yeah. So.
When people say we need government, I said, "Have you ever been to jail?"
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
I almost went to jail.
Just leave it there. No, we don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking order and respect in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You respect people, because imagine a world. Let's go down. Let's take this another way. Imagine a world that truly did not have laws. Like there was no police. I'm sure there's in that place is gonna form something. So something's gonna be policed somehow. But can you imagine if it was okay to just slap the shit out of somebody, punch them in the face, beat the shit out of them, and not get in trouble? There would be so much more respect within the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that's what we should have, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously that is not well. But to be held accountable, and like you are in like in certain sites like jail.
Mm-hmm.
People police themselves.
Yeah.
Jail's a really fucking polite, respectful place until it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
to your note though, and I think that's what you're saying. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But until they're not is the reason they're respectful.
Right.
After and before. Right. So there's there was a meme I posted on social media. As a matter of fact, talking about social media, that literally said almost that. Like there's too many people posting too much shit. They can get away with shit, not getting socked in the fucking face.
I'll slap the shit out of somebody.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Not getting like, hey, like you gotta get handled for some shit. You know what I mean? And not like it should be this bully mentality, but it's like that's that political correctness where it's gone too far, where people are saying some outlandish shit about a lot of people, where I'm like, there's even like certain like rap battles and shit. I've seen people talk about some shit where I'm like, this is why people died. And this is why they're, and there's a level where it's like, I don't think people should go around killing people or beating people up, but it's like, that's how that should be handled, Mm-hmm. Like, again, it's these extremes of like completely wild or like completely passive don't work in normal society. If you have that mix of everything and you can self-regulate, people do talk shit, get hit, and then there's regulation because then there's respect. Like, I don't like getting hit. I'm not gonna.
And I'm definitely not vouching for that kind of world, right? But I mean,
I am kind of business.
But no, I mean, I'll
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I would love to live in a world where somebody said some shit that I didn't like, some like truly like racist or some bad shit, and I could fucking slap them. I'd be really happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go.
And just know I can't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like I'd be really happy. That'd be a cool world.
And instead of you getting,
I think I'd slap a lot of liberals.
Well, we have
especially in Seattle in this passive aggressive, and I am the king. Yeah. I am the king of passive aggressive.
That's right. That's right.
I like that.
I am the king of
It's true.
That's the game we're playing. Bet.
Yeah,
and because I'm from here, and this is a passive aggressive place. Like that's one thing I love about New York and the East Coast people and non-Americans is people just tell you how they feel.
Yeah.
That's a fucking crazy concept. In this,
people always like, you're from New Jersey, you're from New York or something. And I'm like, no, I'm from Seattle. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, they're like, you're too wild out here starting shit, talking shit. You can't be from Seattle. Seattle just sit here and tweet about it or write a note about it or talk some shit.
Yeah, write a note
to someone else about someone else. And I'm like, no, I don't know. But I didn't know that was you.
Yeah, I didn't see it until I started like really. So I started moving.
Yeah,
when I moved,
start moving, you're like, whoa. Yeah. I tell people too, my analogy. So like the East Coast, right? If someone's gonna kill you in New York, right? They're gonna come. They're gonna tell you they're gonna kill you. Then they're gonna stab you and you're dead, right? They're gonna tell you why and do it. California though, on the West Coast too, they're gonna be like, no, you're fine. As they're stabbing you, no, and they're like holding you to the ground, like slowly, gently stabbing you and sending you to the ground. No, you're okay. You're like, you're stabbing me. I don't fucking get it. So that's passive aggressive West Coast shit right there. Like, what do you mean? There's a knife in my stomach. It's your hand.
That's gonna be a beautiful clip right there.
You know what I mean? Like that is some East Coast West Coast shit right there. And I'm like, that's like I can't get that shit.
Yeah, the thing about the East Coast is like I'll never forget the first time I went there. I was in Central Park and like it was the softball fields and all the it was one collective outfield, right? Just big ass. It was weird. Like because usually softball parks, all the diamonds are right there, and then they all go out. It was the opposite. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm able to like watch hella games. And I'll never forget, like at least 3 times, two grown men were bumping chests, screaming at each other as loud as they fucking can, and not one of them ever threw a hand. And it was the fucking craziest. It was the craziest fucking thing. Because
I'll go hug a thug or what?
Because I'm sitting there like, they're about to throw down. They're about. And I'm like
pissing you off at this point. Like, come on, man.
At least they're telling you how they feel. But in Seattle, you might have to fucking get it out of them. But when you get to that point, you're throwing hands.
Yeah.
Like, and just to see that cultural difference, like, it was like one of those kind of like turning points to me. Like, damn, there's some different type of people out there.
Just some wild shit.
There's some different, like. That's when the first time I was like, I wouldn't know what to do here. Like I wouldn't know what to do in that situation because I don't argue. I don't raise my voice.
So when I was,
I wouldn't know what to do besides slap somebody.
Like, yeah, when you're younger, I don't know. I mean, like your mom was so fat, jokes and everything. We're younger. We used to do all that shit. And I'd be like, yeah. And like, it was always funny. We always had fun as kids. We always talk shit and have fun or whatever. Yeah. And
you can't even talk shit to your friends anymore because they get offended.
But that's what I'm saying. But even when I was younger, I would try though, and I was like, man, don't be retarded. Like little shit like that.
You can't say the R word.
And I know. And so many things where I would say a joke, or whatever, or something like I would just snap back because that was the game we were playing, and people were just like their souls were lost, like they were just so devastated, crying and shit. And I was like, okay, I thought that's a game we were playing. That's what you were saying to me. I can't say it to you. And that was the first time I realized people don't. It's not the same thing. Where I can't act in the same situation. People are acting weird, saying some weird shit, and I'm like, you say this, but I can see you doing something. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole. Incongruence with what you're saying, how you're saying your context. I couldn't get it for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't get it. I'm just like, if I like you, I like you. If I don't, I don't. But people will sit right in a room, right? Like you have people like groups of friends, whatever, couches somewhere chilling, and they just sit there and you can sense the thing is totally different. And I can't, that's why I moved to California when I first started really, really discovering it in the middle of LA.
Oh yeah.
Right. And like the Hollywood shit and all that stuff. And I was like, this is wild. Like I know this is a lot of acting and shit and all that stuff, but I was like, I was like, there's demons are real, bro. Like I'm like the devil does
demons
exist.
Are real. Good and evil exists.
This is wild. I was like, damn. Yeah.
There's 2 kinds of people. There's good people and there's evil people. And you could be a little bit of both. And everybody has a little bit in them. And like everything else, I think that all comes down to balance. Yin and yang.
Yep.
But I've seen some pretty crazy evil things out there. And
some wild shit.
And it's like I don't remember who the whistleblower was, but he's like pretty much anything you think the government's doing, ain't nothing on what they're really doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who knows how advanced? Like think about like Nikola Tesla and free energy, and when you start to understand frequency, vibration, and what is energy. Yeah. It's like. Wow.
You can pop.
Imagine that world.
You can pop in
imagine how far they are with that
people
shit.
Can go to that's what I'm saying about earlier, the government documents like that. Any conspiracy theories people think are real or true, so on the top or whatever, go to either whitehouse.gov and look at all their shit. You can search executive orders or anything. Also, you can go to the CIA.gov. You can go to their actual, every different random websites online of any government.gov site. You can search public records of so much shit. And there is a lot of shit you'll see from 1983, from 1970 something, that they just, because it takes sometimes 20 years to declassify something, right? And they declassify, then someone has to request it. And there's senators that are sitting right now that have been a part of funding so many different projects. And you look at it and you're like, that shit's wild. Like there was TV shows, movies, and all these different things that were like entertainment to a lot of us that they were like, no, I mean, if you look at a paper like DNA editing, like editing the genetics of our DNA was actually understood fully in 1978. There's scholarly documents that are posted that you can find. You can actually research the doctors, everything else. You know what I mean? There's
Gucci
so
clone?
much.
Gucci clone?
Gucci.
You guys heard that one? That's one of my favorite ones, bro. Gucci clone? Yeah, bro. They're cloning. Because they're cloning people.
1,000%.
They were cloning people in the 40s and shit.
1,000%.
You know
Who's M&M's? They were saying M&M is a clone now too.
Oh, bro. I don't think they're cloning like that, where they're
like
making
rappers.
new
I don't even mind if I am a clone. I just want to know my other clones so we can coordinate some shit. You know what I mean? That's some wild shit. Let me coordinate.
I would love to meet me in another world. You know what I mean?
I'm down.
Or like my future self or something. Oh, that'd be a dope one.
Yeah,
meeting your future self.
Yeah,
we should write a book on that one.
That's actually the human experience.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cool. So instead of like, we always say like, what would you say to your younger self or whatever, type thing, or what would you, whatever this. So in the human experience, talk about that. Like, what would your future self say to you now? You know what I mean? Like before you make that decision, before you do that next thing, like whether you meditate or whatever, or just think about like that person you are wanting to become or trying to become or desire to become, whatever else. And then make that choice from that place, because that's how you become that, right? Yeah. Your choice start leading to that thing. But yeah, I've done some meditations and seen some shit. Like there's missions I've had of shit that, and not even trying to, just being in that state, like that. There's brainwave states. Like, so I've done science now. I have like an EEG brain reader from Muse. I do that as well. So like it coordinates my actual brain frequencies in left and right hemisphere, so I can like hemisync my actual brain, get in the right like theta or delta or alpha brainwaves as well, and lower and higher different states. And then when you go to those brainwaves and you start to actually meditate like that, you'll start having like visions and stuff without even trying to manifest or whatever. You just kind of are tapping into the quantum entanglement or a quantum different reality. The base fabric of our reality is just quantum energy information. So I haven't.
I've tried it once.
Everyone that's told me about it is pretty much described my 3-week enlightenment experience 2012. I'm pretty sure I just died and a bunch of DMT was released to my mind and yet I'm still here. Or I went to a different fucking reality. But that's exactly the way they describe it. Is pretty much what I experienced for 3 weeks straight. And I still bop in and out of realities without even doing drugs or anything else. Like it can get heightened and everything else, but I can still feel that same kind of experience as well. So I'm nervous to do it because I'm like, I don't know if I'll come back. I just 5 minutes turn into 50 years and shit. And I'll be like, in the scene and shit,
I remember, I think I posted on like Facebook one time, but I was like, if we can only use 10% of our brains, what if there's like different levels of this shit? Like what if the next level you can use 20% of your brain, and then at the next level you can access 30% of your brain, all the way up to 100.
Yep.
Well, and like think about that. Like why can we only use 10% of that shit? I can use 100% of everything else in my body except my brain.
Yep.
What's going on in there?
You can. It's just we're not taught to.
Right.
That's it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like I look at like, so like the only to piggyback on that, the only way I can describe how everything can exist here at once, right, is the earth as a sphere. But if you look at energy, vibration, and frequency, each one of us is energy, vibration, and frequency, and like layers of frequencies of us. And so we're like, spiritually speaking, or God, religion speaking, we're planted in the darkness, and our consciousness in this darkness to grow into the light, right? And as our consciousness kind of evolves, right, we're able to access more and more. So that way we don't get the gift too early and go wild and fuck up some shit. Right. We kind of grow into that power of what we truly are and evolve our consciousness.
I like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, in psychedelics, I mean, stuff like DMT and shrooms and stuff. I mean, there's some real medicinal shit to that and spiritual shit to
ayahuasca.
It is, I tried ayahuasca. But that shit was, I don't even know, like that. They call it mama ayahuasca, like the plant. It's like it's like a woman or whatever. You got to like make peace with the plant. It was only like 2.5 hours. I thought it was going to go like all night. Sometimes it goes a couple days. And I did 2 little sips of the cup, like right away. And it was like, 'cause I'm big, it's whatever. It's no big deal. I have people that did way more than that before, straight from Peru type plant. And it was wild. Like I lost my entire body at one moment, and I was just like, I couldn't, just gone somewhere else. But you see everything come back to it, and luckily I'd experienced everything spiritual before, so it didn't like break me. But yeah, you can see and experience and go through all that stuff. And so I think if people are on a path or whatever else, like the thing is that even if I don't do shit, like I take breaks from drinking or smoking weed or doing anything else, I always am like, people find their own path to those shit. Because I'm never going to say never do anything, because I've done hella shit and everything. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
But you know what I mean? But if you look at like Jason Silva has a quote where he talks about that, like he says something like it can lubricate your mind into a different reality. You know what I mean? So it can kind of be that assistant to help you get there. And I think that's absolutely valid with a lot of people. If you're going there intentionally, you can kind of open yourself up to things that maybe the rigid logical left side of our brain can't actually allow us to even perceive. You know what I mean? So we can kind of tap into that shit. So
I think it's like keys as well. It's like to use 100% of our brain, we need keys like mushrooms or ayahuasca or DMT or something
that.
just to like.
So that's
something just to like. We're searching because you have to search for it. So we're searching to unlock
those doors. So one of my clients, her name's Ahamina. She's writing a book. I'm helping her publish it called Creator Consciousness, and she has the 12 key codes.
Cool.
So like unlocking the key codes, and I guess it's similar to the way in a sense of like these little kind of things, so you can be able to kind of access those realms, with those with that help as well, or without, you know what I mean, and be able to kind of add that, add those as in there, but there's these processes in this way to be able to like step into that while you're sitting here midday or middle of night, whatever else, and access these higher, lower, left, right, whatever realms, and kind of, acknowledge that it's coming from this inside out reality creation fucking vortex thing that we are, right? So yeah. Some wild shit though.
There's some wild shit out. Yeah. It's like what did I see recently? I saw like a documentary on ayahuasca, and like when you did it, did you like throw up a lot? And then that's where it sets in. Yeah.
So like it started singing a little bit before, and then it didn't really feel a lot. Then took the second cup, and then it was kind of like a little bit of feeling a little bit, and this wasn't. This was the Peru actual plant. You got to be careful where you're getting it from and everything else. But yeah, and then started throwing up like dramatically, like it was violent.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, you're like crying and throwing up, like just shit just coming out, which is part of it. And some people, that's all they're doing, but they're like spirit or energy or whatever else goes somewhere else type thing.
And you're not doing that.
And they're not doing that. But I remember I sat up and like, I sat there and like, I sat up and like to go throw up. And even as I sat up, like I was crying. I just remember like, it's so beautiful. I didn't know. It was like some random, I didn't even know I was like crying at that moment and like about to throw up. And I just kind of, and then kind of came back to, and then, you kind of bounced in and out. But even by the time, like it was a few hours after, and they were like, I was like, I'm going to get up and smoke a cigarette. And everyone, like my girl was with me and like, this couple that was helping with everything. And we're all just like kind of in this like very private sanctuary space, or whatever. And the guy that was like running the thing was like, I don't think you should just get up and go smoke a cigarette. Like this is your first time doing that. And I was like, bro, I've been on some rides, bro. I got this. Don't even worry about it. And I got up, took a piss, and like grabbed a smoke and went outside. And he like had these crazy steps to the sanctuary thing. So like I walk out or whatever, and he was like, you just did that. And everyone was like, how the fuck are you just getting up? Like I just, like that mind over matter type thing, which is always, I don't try to push the limit of that, but literally just got up and I was like, and I sat outside and I could see this whole entire mountainous like jungle thing and like this little city of lights on there. And you could see this like boom, 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 like different, little kind of tracer things happening.
Cool.
But I could access different kind of versions of what I was or whatever else. I mean, there's a lot to that I don't necessarily, it's not about science-y proving this or whatever else. I know that a lot of that, the DMT obviously is released in our minds, but ayahuasca is a different plant. It's from here. Everything is somehow from here, either, us condensing it or not. But, but yeah, it was a fucking trip. It was a trip. But if people haven't done it, I mean, definitely like get a private crew, make sure you have someone to do it with, make sure whoever's leading your thing, like have someone who knows what the fuck they're doing, not just like,
some rando.
Not just
especially
like,
in that case, if you're going there. You don't want a rando.
Yeah, not G Money from behind the bar that happened to get some ayahuasca and DMT for the night. Like that's not how you want to do that.
No, I'm good on
like, you have some intention with how you're about to roll with that shit. It's not, you do party as much as you want with everything else, but that shit is like, you got to have real focus and be asking for what you're trying to do and have a notepad or whatever else next to it and try to gain some, glean some wisdom from whatever, you're putting your mind and your body and your psyche through, because you may pop out and be totally fucking, and you more than likely will be totally fucking different. I had a barber once in LA, did DMT, and for years was an atheist, didn't believe anything, and did DMT.
Wow.
And, they always call it breaking through. He had to do it like 3 or 4 times before he actually broke through.
Okay.
But I mean, each time he saw spirits, his dead relatives, he saw these energies that were like beings, whatever. He communicated with all of it, realizing that the reality was right here. It's not anywhere else.
Wow.
And so he was like on his 3rd time, I think, and I went to get my haircut in Cali, and he was just like, bro. And I was like, welcome, he's like, you ever done that before? I was like, no, but that's my spiritual experience. I was like, that's what I kind of went through. I mean? You see beyond time, you see beyond, there's just oneness. It's complete energy, vibration, and frequency. And you're just merged into this bliss of connectivity. So,
wow. Yeah. I felt very floaty.
Yeah.
And then I went into this state of mind of peace. Because I'm kind of like in my head a lot. I'm a Cancer, so I'm in my head a lot, and I project a lot of inwards. And then after that happened, I was very peaceful. I was one. I didn't have the what ifs or the who nods, or I need to do this, or I want to do that. I just had a peaceful feeling. Right. It was great.
That's amazing.
Great. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of like when I meditate now, that kind of coming back to your, like I call it like, the biggest question is like in the way, in the program, the book and everything is, where am I giving my power away? So if you ask yourself that, like, where am I, whatever you're feeling, whether it's hyped and excited, or you're in pain or frustration, anger, fear, jealousy, guilt, shame, whatever the feeling or emotional kind of thing that is pulling you, I want, or gotta, or shoulda, or whatever, where am I giving my power away?
Yeah.
And you just go, oh shit, like, do I need it? Like, why do I need to do that right now? I can just bring my power back to me, inside my body and my spirit, my soul, my mind, whatever it is, my emotions, and go, okay, this is me. This is who has the power. This is where my power lies. This is what's creating, my attention is what's creating the energy, which is giving the life to the person, place, or thing out here. Do you know what I mean? That. I'm actually the one creating the attachment and everything else to give it power without me giving it any attention at all, or energy, or whatever. It has nothing. The person, place, or thing has nothing. So it's like you come back to that center, and if you meditate on that, when that's what I try to do. I mean, for myself, literally, because I'm a Leo, but I'm like, so I'm all over the place. You know what I mean?
I got you.
But I'll try to do that. Come back to that center and just be like, okay, cool. This is where my power is, and I don't have to focus out there. And then you come back to that peace again. Yeah. So
I like that. I'm going to use that. I like that quote.
Yeah. So what's up?
Yeah, man.
Other conspiracy theory. Should we just drop Dee's secret on here right now and just kind of give it away before Jason gets on the podcast?
I don't know. We'll let him reveal that, I guess.
Jason, come with the heat. Come with the heat,
Jason.
Yeah.
Come with the heat.
There you go.
How long are you in town for?
I'll be here until the 27th or 28th.
Okay.
Another week or so, I guess. And then flying to Cali for a few weeks, and then back to Hawaii. And
cool.
Yeah, just vibing.
Man, it's almost June. That's insane.
That's what I'm saying about time. Shit is
you're right.
Real. This shit is so
literally wild. Like what happened to March. Like,
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
We're gonna we'll take a small break and come on back and
shout out to Lifted.
Top five. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.